what it is, Mzansi. It's Saturday on SABC One, meaning it's a time for Hollywoodbets to bring you GameON. I'm Susan Mapena, proud to be in your company, and joined by the legendary Shane McGregor, as we firstly look at what is now being called the Haaland and Salah show, nice and early in the season. Let's talk about those two players in particular. Haaland just season after season, very consistent from a goal-scoring point of view, and Mo Salah is still up and running at that level.
Yeah, you're two completely different players, and that's what makes it even better. If you look at Haaland and, certain guys don't like him, you don't have to like him. He scores goals. I mean, the amount of hat-tricks he scored already this season, he's a goal poacher. Simple over and done with. He doesn't play with the ball much. He gets into the right positions and he scores goals. And what more do you want? I mean, that's what you're paying for. Any team would love that. I was asking off air earlier, when last was there a hat-trick scored in South African football? Game, he's already scored 2 this season. And then Salah, the complete opposite. Playmaker, comes from wide, but he scores so many goals. And I was listening to an interview with him, and he came out and said, look, my last season as a contracted player at Liverpool, which they haven't extended his contract yet, he says, I just want to enjoy it, go out there, have fun.
Now, the following games have begun. I say that because Arsenal are playing at home against Brighton, and they came a bit unstuck, 1-1 the scoreline. And it's a positive for Brighton, but for Arsenal, maybe a bit of a stumbling block here.
Was a stumbling block, but if you look at Brighton, they started the season, they started like a house on fire, they gained well. I was a bit on the fence with that one, and I said, I liked Arsenal, but be careful of Brighton. With Arsenal, I mean, Ross, how stupid are you to get sent off like that? I mean, you've been booked early, and then you go stand in front of a player when you're going to take a kick. Falls over, silly. Acts as if he was injured, silly, stupid. If I was the manager, I would be having stern words with him. Well, I would fine him, but obviously having stern words with him. But Arsenal, having said that, they are looking like a team that's going to be there again. I think we know more or less who's going to be at the top come the end of the season. Man City. I think Liverpool will start fading away, and then Arsenal will be there. So that's the 3 for me.
I'm glad you mentioned Man City, because I was thinking, quietly, I didn't even say this to you last week, West Ham might come up with a bit of a shocker playing at home against City, but City just keep rolling and they just keep scoring goals, and Haaland just, they're turning on the show.
Exactly, just far too good for all the teams at the moment, and West Ham have bought wisely, and they've brought in a lot of players, and I thought as well, might be a little bit closer, but it's when you've got a man like Haaland scoring goals like
creative department also, they're creating for him.
But that's the team, if you look at it, De Bruyne, you've got all the creative. So what more do you want, they're a different class.
Well, I don't know if we should even talk about this. We spoke about it last week, and you said it was a foregone conclusion. And United host Liverpool. Liverpool away from home, going to smash them 3-0.
3-0, it could have been a lot more.
It hurts as a United fan.
I know it hurts. It could have been a lot more. There's been a lot of talk in the press. There's a man one of their players got man of the match, and it wasn't a Liverpool player, but he played for Liverpool. We all know who we're talking about, Casemiro. Shocking. But you know what, Man United are all over the place. The one good thing is I actually sent a note to my friend today, because people have been knocking him on a group we're on. I said, just remember, they can only get better from here.
Who, Man United?
They can only get better. I mean,
well, they're 14th on the long run.
Exactly. Looking at the relegation zone with the rest of the guys, they can only get better. Look, they've got 1 or 2 injury worries. They brought players in. They need to change things around, and very soon. I think Ten Hag's going to be given the sack. But they were nowhere against Liverpool last week, and it could have been more for Liverpool. But that's the way you go. The cookie crumbles. I just said, boom, I made it my best bet. I had a nice bet on Liverpool, got good odds, so I was happy.
We're praising Mo Salah. He scored, I think, 3 consecutive games now. But Liverpool have also another secret weapon in another player who scored 3 goals this season, Diaz. And that's just firepower up front now.
But that's what it is, but with Diaz, he's a bit hot and cold. So when he's in form, he's different class. But he goes in and out of form. Salah, you talk about him again, created 2 of the goals. So it just shows you what they are doing. I still feel Liverpool, to win the title, lack 1 or 2 players, to be very honest with you. I lack a central defender, central midfielder and a central defender. So for me, they need to bring in more players there to be competitive and to have a chance of winning the league.
They're my surprise team of the season so far in the opening 3 games, and I'll tell you why. City scored 9 goals, Liverpool scored 7. Not a big difference, they're thereabouts, but they haven't conceded a goal yet this season. Yeah. That's impressive from Liverpool, and many people wouldn't be talking about Liverpool at the start of the season.
Exactly, they haven't conceded.
Yeah.
What this new coach has come in and done is, that's the way he plays. You know, if they go 2-3-0 up, he's not worried about scoring 6-7 goals. He just wants to keep that clean sheet, which is a very good thing. It's a good mindset to have. Liverpool of old would have just gone mad, just playing, and don't worry about defending, we'll beat them 4-0.
But if you score 2, we score 4, yeah.
We'll score. But he's changed that mindset a bit, you know. He's made it more defensive, made it that they don't concede goals, which is a good thing. My worry, again, as I said, if you lose a Van Dijk, then you've got big problems at the back. So they need to invest in that department, but they are looking good. Will be better if they buy a new central midfielder, a defensive one.
Shocker of the season so far. Everton, no wins, 3 losses, 10 goals conceded already, and they're already in the talk for relegation with the start.
They are. You know, they couldn't buy players in, bring players in. I said right in the beginning they're in trouble, you know, and they're in big trouble. I mean, they were winning the other day and conceded goals and got beaten, but they're in big trouble.
Big trouble, and a huge start to the season in the way of entertainment and the scramble for places out in England. Thank you very much to Shane McGregor. Jerry Squasana comes back and we talk the semi-finals of the MTN8 on the other side of this.
Game on. Here we go. Check these guys. Let's show them how to do that. I see it. Let's have a
your feet like this.
Let's see how you play.
Move your feet like this.
Welcome back to Game On, as Orlando Pirates look to, well, make a better history and make it 3 top 8 wins in a row, while Stellenbosch are looking to make a bit of history themselves in making their first victory in the MTN8. Joined now by Jerry Squasana, and let's talk semi-finals. Start off with, well, a nice battle between Gauteng and Western Cape. Let's start with the Paris game first, and Mufokeng, the start of the season he's having. I mean, all eyes are on him. You think pressure on a youngster who's still a teenager. What do you think of his start to the season?
Thanks. I think he's contributing a lot, honestly speaking, because if you consider his age, he should have been like more of a big-headed player, but he's still calm, he still wants to work, and he's doing fine. For me, if he continue this way with his behavior, I foresee him going somewhere, especially overseas, because he's a quality player.
Because Eric Tinkler did cause problems for Orlando Pirates. His Pirates were strong and they are Pirates, but Tinkler gave us signals or signs to see there could be a problem at the Cape Town.
Yeah, a little bit of that, but for me now, ukuthi nje wena size Cape Town City ke Pirates Cape Town. Ngoba ukuthi ngesikhathi Pirates kuba na this problem ye-weather. They had to postpone the game to the following day, so it was something engasi right for a Pirate, but City didn't utilize that. But coming to Orlando Stadium, as I said it last week, it was going to be difficult for City to come out of Escotin Sagamaminzela. So I think that's what happened. I wouldn't say Pirates were more superior in terms of gameplay. But yes, they scored those 2 goals. That's what you want in a cup game. You just want to score goals and proceed to the final, and that's what Pirates did. But for me, pound for pound in terms of the statistics, I wasn't impressed the way Pirates played Orlando.
So many people are talking to Dion Hotto. First game, Babati Chaine played a big role out in Cape Town in Paris, having the aggregate lead coming into the second leg. But Dion Hotto's performance in the second leg, what do you make of it?
He's always a top player. You know, you take Dion Hotto, you play him a left back, he always gives you 120%. You take him into the midfield, you take him into the attacking wing. He's always contributing a lot. I think these are kind of players that you need from Amatima Fananabo Pirates. If Chiefs can have somebody like that, honestly speaking, an individual that can just fill every gap, maybe one day if he was playing for Sundowns, when that problem happened, he red card to Dennis Onyang, he was going to be the one going to
go first.
But yeah, it's a compliment of Ibona from a player.
Yeah, totally.
It is Misele. So for me, Tien Hoto is top.
Now, quickly, Simone, end of last season, Paris might have even on the Friday, maybe Champions League, there's an excitement, there's a home base that's pushing Pirates. Is going to the Orlando Stadium going to be a problem for other sides this season?
Yabona sizwe ke lapho ke.
Sayaqala la. Kumnandi.
Yes, kumnandi. Kuyagcwala but asibhekeni. Khona abantu abangadlali. Kaizer Chiefs is not playing. So people want to go and watch soccer. And obviously they are close. They're in Orlando. Remember, Chiefs also come from Soweto. Swallows is no longer there. So everybody in Soweto, the community wants to go there and watch football. And which team can you support? Orlando Pirates at Orlando Stadium. Even though maybe sometimes you cannot go Ofagi, Ethiopia Chiefs or Swallows, but you go there to watch football. That's the
good
advantage.
Football as well,
Good football. Let's wait and see when Chiefs start playing, if it's still going to be the same crowd.
The community, in case they then came out and they supported Sundowns. They were a little late to get to the stadium. It was a nice atmosphere. What do you make of Stellenbosch in the Sundowns game?
CP Stellenbosch credits.
Over 2 legs.
No, sibuke nje Moses Mapete.
Yeah.
Ibigcwele. Ikanti home ground kabani.
Exactly.
So yes, but I did saw this coming because I knew Sundowns supporters would descend to Durban at Moses Mapete Stadium and make sure that they support Sundowns, but
they were quiet. First half, we were to lead. They were in shock. And again, credit to Stellies. I mean, the game plan, the execution, top.
Man. Because they knew Sundowns losing at home, Lucas Morepe. They would come there guns blazing. What did Stellenbosch do? They sit back, make sure that they contain the Sundowns, they don't concede a goal. And they knew by doing that, in the second half, there's going to be a different approach to Sundowns to say, hey, what do we do? Can we push somebody? They're going to open up. What did Stellies do? They get an early goal in the second half.
They could have scored 2 or 3 in the first.
Exactly. And what did they do later on? Goalkeeper for me, top class. Top class.
Top performance.
It is in the game.
But I have to ask you now, Sundowns losing 1-0. Would you have envisioned this? Losing 1-0, it's not lost by any stretch of the imagination to give me 1-0. But as a keeper, keeper Uzwane, what's that telling you about what's happening in Sundowns? Those are senior players, those are star players. Those are the guys you look to when there's trouble.
That's my worry. People will know what I was talking about, to say there is a problem in the Sundowns camp. And it's now getting there to the people to see. For me, it's for the first time in the history of football as a footballer or ex-footballer, but I'm still playing now as a legend. But I've never seen, first, the armband of the captain being replaced. It goes to the assistant captain who takes the armband. He gets replaced. And where did the third player, where did he get the armband? On the ground? Or was it given to him? So it's a question that I'm saying there is something really that is happening at Sundowns which they need to by attend excess early. Because, serious, flying high, we crash so. Team, and we don't want to see that.
Well, I'm wondering, no, it's not Sundowns having problems, it's Stellenbosch doing well. It's not Cape Town City struggling, it's Paris doing well, and those are the two sides, of course, that do make the MTN8 final. Thank you very much to Chase Kosana. Special interview for you, other side of this. Welcome back, and time for a special interview that we did promise you. It's with a player that played 4 AFCONs, 4 Africa Cup of Nations tournaments, different tournaments that is, with the DRC. Also spent a bulk of his time playing out in Europe, of course, representing the African continent. That is Cheso Lomana Lualua. Had a chance to sit down and have a chat with him. Let's find out more about that. Firstly, thank you so much, Tresor, for taking the time to join us here on GameON. Now, many youngsters, when they think or dream of becoming footballers, they dream of a career close to yours, something that resembles your career. Can you tell us how it all started for you in as far as football?
First of all, thank you for having this discipline on. We're always going to trying to guide those youngsters by having them as solely so it's nice for them to know, for them to also realize, that it's not impossible. So, but in my case, I've never dreamed of becoming a footballer. So a lot of people said I'm more English than I am. Before, but now, I've been going back home. I've been, settling in Congo. So I started. It wasn't actually my dad that guided me football watching. It was football studying school teacher. Teaching with baby hat. He's the one that God sending in my way to push him to become a footballer. So and it was, like I said, it was something that I never tricked out.
Now, you say you got to England when you were 9. Obviously, played most of your career in England, for all of it. But what's it like then playing overseas, but also then going back home to represent DR Congo? What was that experience like when you have to balance those two?
I was lucky enough to, when you played in Colchester, training from Colchester, I was spoke to Newcastle. It's when I was training in Newcastle, that's when they saw me, and that's why they called me out to represent my country, Congo, which I didn't feel twice, because I remember when my dad explained his for the national team.
Before I let you go, I have to ask you this question. My producer did some research, of course, ahead of this interview, and he says you're cousins with Yannick Bolasie. Firstly, is that true? And secondly, who's the better footballer in your opinion, you or Yannick Bolasie?
I'll let her say hello to Yannick.
Yeah.
I'm not young, but you have to understand. A very good player, a good player, always. But when you told me, I'm a what do you call it? I follow is George Way.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah. Trezo, I would like to thank you so much for taking the time to join us here on Game, and also thank you for all you've done throughout your career in helping the African game grow. And again, thank you for your lovely words and for remembering some of our legends as well here on the continent. May the future always see you stay blessed, bro.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, time to keep things moving along, and for those of you that may have missed it, the Hollywoodbets Super League has been moving along quite nicely with Mamelodi Sundowns currently in the league on the log standings. But our Hollywoodbets Super League team focus this week is with JVW, Janine van Veek's team. Find out more about that now.
Filled with clubs who carry the names of their legendary founders, with Kaizer Chiefs and Jomo Cosmos springing to mind, and the Hollywoodbets Super League is no different, with one in particular standing out, JVW Football Club. Founded by the iconic former Banyana Banyana captain Janine van Veek, this is a club built on excellence, hard work, and a commitment to the game that is hard to find.
You know, when you hear JVW, I sometimes forget that it's my own name. But I'm truly proud of how far this club has come. A decade later, you have a full-on development program running. You have close to 100 girls participating under the banner of JVW. You have the first team competing at the highest league for women's football in the Hollywoodbets Super League. And that is what the development is about. That's what this program and this club is about, is to produce talent and to produce the future of women's football.
While many household names have played for this storied club, there's also a culture of breeding the stars of tomorrow, which bodes well for the Hollywoodbets Super League and, of course, women's football as a whole in South Africa.
It comes down to the grassroots. Every player that joins JVW, there's a certain caliber that is expected of each player. You don't just come into this team. We're more of a family, but there's a structure. I think we have high standards. There's high standards from the development to the first team, and with that, you're going to get the best out of each player. There's a lot of goals individually and collectively. A lot of the teams, a lot of the players aspire to play for the national team, and that's what this team is all about.
3 years ago, our national players were our backbone. Everything revolved around them. But now, 3 years down the line, when my national players go on camp, the standard stays the same. The level has really climbed. And the youngsters that we brought up from the Sasol team this year were primed. A couple of them were in the side already. And I said they're not ready. We pushed them back down into the Sasol for a year. And now when they've come back, they're far more mature, they're far more orientated with the fundamentals that I try to put in place into the Sasol structure as well. And they fitted in so much better.
The word ambition gets thrown around a lot in football, but it wouldn't be fair to leave without asking about that very subject and how big the drive is to take down the high-flying Mamelodi Sundowns, who are traveling the world and enjoying the perks of being domestic and African champions.
If you look at the logs, the top 4 teams are grinding it out. Also watching Sundowns play at that level in the Women's Cup, you can see that Sundowns is fantastic as a team, but we are still behind as a country. We play against these teams week in and week out, so we're not very far off. It's just small little details, and I think we just got to keep setting our goals, and hopefully we'll be there soon.
It's become so competitive. Women's football is being competitive, and thanks to Hollywoodbets for providing that platform for women in our country to play nationally, not only in your own region but also provincially. So it's amazing to have such a league and to have such structures in the women's game, and I can just see it growing from here.
Well, there you have it. Time has run out, and we had a lot of fun this Saturday. Looking forward to seeing you next Saturday. Thank you so much to Mr. Dualua, Mr. McGregor, as well as Mr. Skosana, and thank you so much for you at home. From myself, Susan Mapena, and the rest of the team, click, click, bang.